Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This space is for MA English students preparing for UGC NET and JRF. Today, we'll explore the history of English literature, tracing the great literary ages from Chaucer to Postmodernism. Age of Chaucer, 1340 to 1400. The Age of Chaucer marks the rise of Middle English as a literary language. Literature became more realistic, portraying society and common life, especially in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Influenced by Italian masters like Dante and Boccaccio, this period blended romance, allegory, and satire. The key writers were Chaucer, Langland, and Gower, with terms like allegory and estate satire defining the style. The Renaissance or Elizabethan Age, 1558 to 1603. This age was a golden era of creativity, fueled by humanism and classical learning. Drama flourished with Shakespeare and Marlowe, while Spenser and Sidney enriched lyrical poetry. Themes of love, ambition, and fate were explored with richness and experimentation. Important literary terms include blank verse, pastoral poetry, and the sonnet sequence. The Jacobean Age, 1603 to 1625. The Jacobean Age turned darker, with tragedies exploring corruption and weakness. This was also the era of metaphysical poetry by Donne and Herbert, blending intellectual wit with deep emotion. Key writers include Ben Jonson, John Donne, and John Webster, and the period is known for metaphysical conceits and revenge tragedy. The Caroline Age, 1625 to 1649. This age featured cavalier poets like Herrick and Lovelace, who wrote about love, loyalty, and honor, often in the Carpe Diem tradition. It reflected a contrast between Puritan seriousness and courtly elegance. Writers include Robert Herrick, Richard Lovelace, and Sir John Suckling. The Commonwealth or Puritan Age, 1649 to 1660. During the Puritan Age, drama declined under Puritan suppression, and prose works like sermons and political writings rose. Milton's Paradise Lost defined the epic form of the period. The literature was serious, moral, and often religious. Major figures include John Milton, Andrew Marvell, and Thomas Hobbes. The Restoration Age, 1660 to 1700. This era reopened the theaters, bringing the witty Restoration comedies of Congreve and Etheridge. Satire and frankness shaped drama, while Dryden perfected the heroic couplet. The period is remembered for its comedy of manners and refined criticism. The Augustan or Neoclassical Age, 1700 to 45. The Augustan Age emphasized reason, order, and clarity. Writers like Pope and Swift used satire to critique society, while Addison and Steele pioneered the periodical essay. The mock epic and heroic couplet defined its literary style. The Age of Sensibility, 1745 to 1798. This period prepared the way for Romanticism. Literature became more emotional and sentimental, with the graveyard poets reflecting on melancholy. Nature poetry grew with Gray and Cowper, while Richardson and Fielding developed the novel. Important terms include sentimentalism, the graveyard school, and the epistolary novel. The Romantic Age, 1798 to 1837. The Romantic Age celebrated imagination, nature, and individual emotion. Wordsworth and Coleridge's lyrical ballads marked its beginning. Poets like Byron, Shelley, and Keats explored the Gothic, the supernatural, and the idea of negative capability. This was an age of rebellion against neoclassical order. The Victorian Age, 1837 to 1901. Victorian literature combined moral seriousness with realism. Novelists like Dickens and Eliot highlighted social criticism, while poets such as Tennyson and Browning explored faith and doubt through forms like the dramatic monologue. It was an age of great prose, poetry, and social novels. The Modern Age, 1901 to 1945. The Modern Age broke conventions, experimenting with new forms and fragmented styles. Stream of consciousness dominated novels by Joyce and Woolf. Poets like Eliot and Pound reflected the disillusionment after World War I, exploring alienation, symbolism, and modernist imagery. The postmodern age, 1945 to present. The postmodern age rejects grand narratives and embraces plurality. Writers like Beckett, Pinter, and Rushdie use metafiction, parody, and magic realism. Boundaries between high art and popular culture blur, and identity, language, and meaning are constantly questioned. Outro. And that was the complete chronology of English literature, from Chaucer to postmodernism. I hope this helps you in your NET and JRF preparation. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to ask your questions in the comments.